Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting edition of Transformers Reviews. Today we are taking a look at Kingdom Megatron. And if you're asking yourself, hey, didn't you already do this video? Well, let's just say I don't feel that I gave him what he deserved. So let's give the Tyranno King his due and jump right on into it by looking at the stupid majesty that is Beast Wars Megatron.
When taking a look at my second favorite Transformer ever, I'm totally digging this beast mode. It's not perfect by any stretch, but again, I'm not holding it to masterpiece standards. Plus, I'm loving the T-Rex head because it's so Jurassic Park. They're playing off of that nostalgia as well. Well played, Hasbro. Well played. Sorry for the change in audio, guys. I promise we'll get back to more normal here in just a second. But what we want to look at first is Megatron compared to his old toy, because when we look at that, the only posability you had in the old figure was in the neck, the little tiny arms, and the legs, but otherwise the majority of the body was just a really long, solid brick. Well, the new Megatron, due to all the advancements and upgrades he has, not only aesthetically, but engineering-wise, it allows his beast mode to have some sort of illusion of a little bit more life than the old guy could ever hope to be.
So everyone, let's take a look and see how he actually stacks up to the modern-day Predacons that we've received in recent lines. And we're talking about since the, Generations release of Waspinator. And really, these two stylistically tie in really well with Megatron. They look amazing, and I totally love that. So, ladies and gentlemen, what would it be if we did not bring the only character in that could serve as the exact counterbalance we need for Megatron? And in looking at their scale, guys, this is like spot on for the show. Just like last night, I was trying to get these pictures ready for this review and seeing what could be done with these characters. Like we've said with many other figures from Siege and Earthrise and now Kingdom, these are budget masterpieces. And, it is truly the golden age of Transformers. So guys, here we're looking at Beast Wars Megatron's fabulous mug. He has such a heavy-set brow that it is kind of covering his fantastic red eyes. But also up there on his crest, but it is the Predacon emblem, which is totally accurate and I'm totally okay with. Now another thing is the sculpting on the chest. A little bit of paint can go a super long way in making the difference. And even on the original Megatron, this was just a solid plastic slab. Here, picking out the details, plus also it's like a sharp focus on these. The one thing that I do admire is the fact that his T-Rex head seems more in proportion with his body now. And that's great. Also, these big things down here, you can see now they're show accurate size. That is amazing that just proportion also does amazing things. I brought this out in my last video. He has this around the back kibble stack. But, most of the time, I forget it's even there, to be honest, because the front is so fabulous. On the original, he didn't have a left arm. Now, in the show, he did. And the fact that they have actually come in now and given him his left arm, which, like, his tail was detached, it was just like a missile launcher in the show. So the fact that he actually has his left arm from his Season 1 form, that's great. So in the show, Megatron actually had these really masculine heel struts. Well, if you notice on the new one, okay, we're missing that, that's fine. If we're gonna sacrifice one thing, that's fine, because all he really did with these was, like in one episode, he tried to break Optimus's back. So that's the thing with the Beast Wars guys, is they're not ruining the aesthetic, which I'm totally fine with them not, putting ports all over them. So, but I'm not sure exactly what advantage having combat ports on your feet solely would do. But you know what? It's awesome that Megatron even gets in on the fun. So here we can see the Preds are flanking the big boss himself. Just articulation that these new guys have. the possibilities are limitless for what you guys can accomplish with these new dudes. And I am just so happy that we have just so good of a Megatron now. And now we see the braggadocio of Megatron's powerful design taking on the stout and determined form of Optimus Primal. And oh man, it doesn't diminish his powerful, overbearing design, which, I mean, this figure just serves that so extremely well. And you know, yeah, I mean, if you want to have him beating up Optimus, that's fine. Or if you want to have Optimus come out on top, you can do it either way. And these guys will serve you in being able to have that posability and articulation that previous versions just could only ever really hope for. So what a better backdrop than to take a look at the heroic Maximals taking on the evil forces of the Predacons. I mean, there's a lot of fanfare that's being given to these. I think a lot of it, though, is from those of us that really have fond memories of Beast Wars. And like now, personally, when I look back on it, where its main strength came from was the writing of the characters, because it made these characters interesting to watch no matter what they were doing, whether they were in a brawl like this, or if they were just having interactions among their own team members. And ironically, since this is Megatron's video, I look back on it, Megatron was the one with the most character development throughout not only season 1, but the entire show. Which is kind of funny, the villain gets the most development. And so I think that's another reason he's really beloved especially. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this look at Beast Wars Megatron. We finally gave him his due credit. And I know there's a character with this name, but Megatron is the true Predaking. And without further ado, guys, that's all I really have to tell you. So until next time, we'll see you in another review.